Hola, hola, estudiantes. All right, this is your agenda overview video. Because this is the first unit in Spanish 4, I'm going to give you the overview of how this works in English. You see the title of your unit at the top. The individual, personal personal relationships, and the world out there, el mundo más allá. Let's make connections. So this is a fun unit because we're talking about family relationships, friend relationships, romantic relationships, all kinds of different relationships. You personally, as an individual, a lot of different adjectives. That's will be the vocab where we start for today to describe people. There's a lot of different things that we're doing. You see then announcements in yellow. If there is ever an announcement, it'll be listed right there. We don't have one. Semana uno, week 1. So you can see the whole week. We have these different, I'm noticing right now actually that these goals need to be edited. Don't read beyond Monday. You have your goals. And I'm sorry I skipped over this part. I did this when I was talking to Spanish 2 also. Let me pause. I'm getting ahead of myself. You see lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes. So obviously Monday through Friday. Right underneath it, that's solo por diversión. That is just for fun. So I put different music artists up there. These are all Tiny Desk concerts. It's totally optional. You don't have to do anything with it. It's like put on some cool Spanish music and listen to it. And I put different things up there. Then directly underneath, you'll always see in red, Las metas de hoy. You see, if you look under it, there's one little arrow. But then look at Friday and you look under your goals for today, and there's all kinds of arrows. So what you want to do is think of the week in brackets, if you will. So we always start out with more simpler things at the start of the week, and it builds everything that you're working on Monday and Tuesday will build into a more complex demonstration of skill that will usually happen on Friday. So we try to bookend, and then things get progressively more complex over the course of, say, a 4-week unit. So just keep that in mind. We're always building. When you look underneath your goals, so because we have synchronous, which is when we're all together for the first 20 minutes of class, which starts happening on tomorrow, Tuesday. And then you also have the asynchronous, which is what will be happening the remainder of the class after the 20 minutes kind of times out. Then you move into a distance style lesson where you're doing those things by yourself. Now, every Monday, there is not any simultaneous classes. You're completely asynchronous, meaning that you're doing individual work. So if we scroll down here, we see Vista. Then you see Flipgrid, which will not take you 5 minutes. It's really going to take you less than 2. And then we have a tiny bit of Quizlet. Here's the thing, scroll back up. Vista is your main practice. So when you're on your Google Classroom page, and I don't have one, mine open or I would show you, but you'll see it written in there that we are required now this year to put in an assignment for every single day, but our assignments are not on Google Classroom. Our assignments are on Vista and Flipgrid, etc. You have to complete the whole agenda for that day. So anything that you see in the simultaneous, lección simultánea, and the lección asíncrona, those are the things that you have to complete, and then you will sign off on the assignment in Google Classroom. So FYI, we'll keep talking more about that. Way down at the bottom here where it says más a fondo, and it says right there, práctica opcional. So I just put a little podcast in there, and that was more for Spanish too, but I think it'd probably be okay for you guys at this point also, just because everything sort of starts swirling. My goal for you guys this week is to put as much Spanish in your head, in front of your eyes, into your ears as possible, so that we can start reactivating what is stuffed down in there in your brain. And it's there, and the only way to bring it back out is for you to get what's called a lot of input. So I'm going to click over to Vista. You access Vista through your regular AHS lock and key. These are alphabetized, all your different applications that you have available to you. You go way down to the bottom, Vista. I clicked mine with a heart. I went into a student view in Vista, so I'm going in right now. Whoops, not working. There we go. I'm going in as a student. So this is what it's going to look like when you see it. You got to scroll all the way down to the bottom and click agree. It's only going to do this the first time that you go in. This is your book, Descubre Tres. When you come into the school, if you are, you will see this book sitting on the shelf, but you actually don't need to have it. The lessons will be designed, and I will always be showing you where to access what you need with the pieces of this book that are available to you online. Okay, so click on your book. And this is your landing page, if you will. You see your course dashboard, then you see assignments. You also could go up and click the assignment calendar, and that also will show you things that are scheduled out. So you have there's a reading, which is actually you reading an activity sheet that goes along with the video. The video is a silent video. There is no discussion. It's real cute animation. You have some review activities. You have one speaking that's tied to what you watch in the video that's dubbed reading because you have to answer some questions. And then you have 4 non-scored, which are those are actually grammar tables, videos, etc., that you can reference if you need them. They're there. It's review from Spanish 1 and 2. If you don't need those, you don't need to watch them, which is why I say they're non-scored. So you could also look at that calendar. And usually I will have a whole week planned out. I just don't this week. So I do want to show you this. Pay attention right now. Please pay attention right now because this is a little bit, it's not tricky, but you just need to know how to do this because otherwise you're going to be confused. So I clicked on one because I've been in here before and it's taking me already into this. Look at the top. It should not be labeled contextos. We're learning new stuff. I don't know why it is. This is actually a speaking activity. This is the last activity that you will be doing today. You have to do this other stuff first. So what you want to do is come down and you could start with a movie or you could start where it says estructura. This is your review grammar and you might want to go right there. So sorry, I'm just trying to remember what these all look like because when I assign things on my professor side, it looks different for you guys on the student side. Okay, that's what I thought. These are the tutorials. So they're going to remind you of all of the ins and outs of conjugating all these different kinds of verbs you see. Your stem changing verbs, which are your boot verbs, your ER, IR, etc. If you need to watch those, if you want to watch those, go ahead, but you don't have to. I wonder if I got okay. I'm going to click in to the actual activity that you want to complete, which are these two. Un apartamento infernal. So an apartment, and then the truth. So I'm going to go into, because I want to show you a quick way to find something also. So you guys have all kinds of options here. I'm going to close that out. I don't know how to get rid of this. You kids probably are. This bar is in my way. I don't like that. Oh, wait a minute. It just popped up. Huh. I can't get it. Well, regardless, up at the top here, if you click grammar presentation is what it said. Grammar presentation is right behind that. You get these pages that are straight out of the textbook. So you can zoom in on them just like this because I can't read anything right now on these pages. It's too small for me. And then you're like, oh yeah, I remember all this. Use your tools here on the side. This is a real state-of-the-art tool at your disposal. This Visa's Dynamite. And then if you want to see the other page, I mean, there's different ways you could do this. You can drag it over, but attention, I drug you to this spot on purpose. Irregular verbs right here for the yo form, like you're going to be asked how to conjugate oír, for example, in the present tense. I even forget sometimes. I don't know why. I have like a brain block with certain verbs, but so that one's right there. FYI. The other ones are probably like, oh yeah, tener, venir, easy. But also take a look, you're going to see some vocabulary in here also. If you're like, well, you get into one of these activities and you're like, well, caber, I don't know what caber means, and it's to fit, it shows you. So use those tools that you need to when you complete. You have one activity here where you're reading a paragraph. This is all about the apartment. Okay, so some review words with describing, like a house. You did that last year in Spanish 3, and then another one with the truth. So these two grammar ones at the bottom, you do have to complete those. All this stuff above is optional videos. These are optional videos, these 4 things at the top. Now, after you do that, come down to the very bottom, Cinemateca. This is out, and you'll see Azul, un cortometraje. And you're going to click this. And this is an activity. We as teachers can add activities to this Vista, and this is one that I've added. So all of the instructions are in here. Make sure you're reading the instructions, and we're going to be discussing this in class tomorrow. I walk you through at the bottom. You can't see it. It's behind this thing that I don't know how to get rid of over here on the left, but you're going to see a little audio, like a headphone icon, and you'll click on that. It's on the left underneath, like right here. Okay, it's there. You'll see it when you get in here. And I help walk you through this particular sheet. It's pretty simple, but if you're like, I don't get it, what am I supposed to do? Underneath here at the bottom, you'll see it, this conversación. You'll be using those as discussion questions later. And then actually tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, you're going to be doing a little bit of writing with that question under comparaciones. So at any rate, then you scroll down and it's this cute little movie is right here. It's about 3 minutes. So after you do that, again, it's way at the bottom under this Cinemateca, then you go back up to the top and you click on this Azul. Oh, I see finally how to get rid of this. Good. You click on this Azul. There we go. And this is your expresión personal. So you're talking. Those conversation questions that are on the lower left of your sheet, you're going to hear me read them to you, and you're simply going to record your opinions. It's all opinion. And the movie's going to get you thinking about this stuff. So you're going to do that, and no one can hear this. This is only coming to me, and then you'll click submit. And after you do it, like if you don't like your answer, I'm just going to do an example right now. You're not going to be able to hear it or anything, but you go blah, 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 you say whatever. You're going to get my internet connection is really slow right now. There it came up, but you can review it. Like and then if you don't like it, you can scrap it out and redo it. So you just record it over. Okay, you just click it again. Tomorrow, and that's the last thing that you're going to do today in Vista. And then you just got to introduce yourself on Flipgrid, simple, and do a little bit of vocab, which is adjectives, which is going to be helpful for describing the people in your life. And we're going to start watching this series and people that you meet in the series. Tomorrow in class, and I say this in here, so mañana en clase, ustedes van a compartir sus ideas en grupo. So you're kind of prepping, well, you are prepping for tomorrow. You're practicing expressing yourself. And again, I'm the only one that's hearing this. And then tomorrow when we meet live, but from a distance, you're going to have the opportunity to talk to people about this, what's brought up in the short film. Don't forget to hit submit. But this is what you're doing today. So there you go. You see that there. Stuff on Vista, Flipgrid, it's going to take you 2 minutes, not even, and then get in and do 5 minutes is fine of your new vocab. That first link to Quizlet is going to join you to the class. The second link down there that says code, that's going to take you particularly to the vocab for this new chapter that we're in. Okay, nos vemos.